Yeah.
What's going on? It's been a minute.
Uh, I know, dude. We got caught lacking during the holiday season and just
We
and
did.
got lazy. And I'll take
Slowed down.
responsibility for that.
Yeah.
How
Well,
was your holiday season? Was it good?
mine was good. I didn't do. It wasn't all too crazy. This year just was at my mom's. My parents had family over. Uh, Standard stuff. But I, funny enough, I bought some presents for my sister, my nephew, um, brother-in-law, and none of the presents came in on time. And even though
Nice.
I ordered them like I don't know, well, early December, but still like they were all supposed to be at the house by like December 10th, 15th, and I just got the packages like a week or two ago. So, which
Well,
I don't know if anybody
you,
else
you
is
didn't
experiencing those kind of delays, but
you didn't get them under the tree in time, but you know what? It is what it is. It's the thought that counts. Although that wouldn't have worked for me. You can't really explain
yeah,
that to kids, but you've got. I'm sure your family understood.
yeah. What
Hopefully,
how was yours? You got first Christmas for the second one, no?
yeah, yeah. She was. It was good, man. It was a lot. And I found myself literally living out the meme of like the dad always trying to pick up the wrapping paper trash like immediately with like a garbage bag. I saw a bunch of memes about it on Christmas, and I was like, dang, that's literally exactly what I was doing. It was like instinctual. Like I like had the garbage bag, I was ready to go. I I started immediately picking up the trash, and it was I will admit that I was a bit overbearing about it. Like my wife was like, why are you so concerned about picking up the trash immediately?" And I was like, I thought about it after I reflected, not in the moment, but afterwards I reflected. I was like, you know what, doesn't matter if there's a little extra trash, you know
Doesn't
it's a good day, it's a good day, and I don't want to like annoy people by rushing to clean up. Like it's all good. So
Damien was
uh,
asking what I was talking about. I have no idea either,
oh,
honestly, to be completely fair with you. So
what, picking
he,
up?
Damien sent this message, this comment when I was sharing my present ordering experience. And to be honest with you, I don't know what I was talking about either.
Well, no,
Running on a little bit of
I don't. I
less
don't
sleep
think
today.
anybody of us know what we're talking about, but we're just here to yap.
Yeah,
So
uh, I haven't been keeping. Well, I mean, I've been keeping tabs on kind of generally where things were, but I've been pretty in the weeds the last
what's
couple
been
of
going
weeks.
on?
I would say actually let's just go and take a look. Let's go through some of the newsletters here. There's obviously like I mean everybody pretty much knows about the snowstorm at this point, so we don't even have to talk about that. But um,
Bro, these I'm like captivated by all these freaking fires, dude. This shit, it's out of control.
yeah, that
I'm
is.
not-
I think all of Los Angeles got a notification to evacuate, which is freaking wild
Have you
to me.
have you downloaded this Watch Duty app?
I have not. No.
I've seen it all over Twitter. There's been a bunch of it's kind of I think it's the number one app in the App Store right now. It's kind of gone a little viral. It's a pretty functional
Is it
app.
like a Citizen app? Something like the Citizen?
I don't know what Citizen is, but
It's the
this is
anxiety-inducing app that basically tells you like where all the stabbings, muggings around you are
oh,
taking place.
well, I guess if knowing where wildfires are is anxiety producing, then maybe. But
Yeah,
no,
I
I mean
guess.
I think they just
Well,
have like fire data. They just have like fire data somehow.
yeah, that
And
one
you can
probably seems like a little bit, more
it's
okay.
pretty it's a pretty good app. Like it's got a lot of info in here. And it looks nice too. I like the map.
The Citizen app is just wild to me because the people that I know who do use it, they just always like walk around like so freaked out about everything.
All right. Well,
Generally,
I'm not gonna look at that one then. I don't want to be
yeah,
freaked out any more than I
especially in
already am, bro.
Chicago. Especially in Chicago, there's like something on like every block, which is wild. All right,
They took.
so we
What
did
do we
we
got
did
here?
have the port strike that was averted. That was actually a worry of mine of like whether or not that was going to get resolved. Um, but I
Well,
think
thank
a big
God. We are going to miss out on the memes this round. I guess the first round gave us all the memes with that union boss, like,
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
you know,
It was those are some good memes actually too.
yeah, I
Um,
know. So that's
wish
good for the supply chain probably, but not good for the memes. So we'll call it even.
Yeah, I think a big if I kind of think about some of the events that led up to this, I think one thing that was pretty unpopular, at least I don't know amongst like freight freight or not sorry freight X, but like the tech community and on X was that Trump basically
Yeah,
he kind of sided with the fact of like not having any automation at the ports whatsoever. And to be honest, I
yeah.
think that's probably a pretty big contributor to the fact that this actually got resolved by the time he gets into office. But if this didn't get resolved, I know like Ryan Peterson was talking about that this would be he was putting some pretty crazy numbers up like by the day, by the week that the strikes continue. But this happens. What has this happened like every year now? At this point, I feel like it happens every year.
I think their contract is multi-year. I can't remember. Maybe it was like 5 or 6 or something like that. I'm making that up though. I think it's more than 1 year for sure. That would be crazy if they were negotiating a new contract every year.
This one's a
Yeah, I
6 year.
don't know. I mean, I think I feel like Trump's a deal maker, and I think he's like holds a lot of opinions on convenience. So and is willing to kind of probably say what he needs to say to get a deal done. I don't. I just find it hard to believe that like port automation is going to be somehow stopped. Like I don't. I
It's
really
not.
don't. I really don't understand how that actually would play out long term. Like
I
I really
I don't
don't.
either. Personally I don't either. I mean, it's going to become available, and I mean, it already is. I would say it's already is available. It's like, and I think it's the entire port of Shanghai um, is
Yeah,
100% fully automated at this point.
yeah,
Um, and I mean,
yeah.
how
I
many?
mean, dude, it's
Hold on, let's see.
crazy.
I wonder how many jobs. Let's see,
That's
perplexity.
yeah. Ask. Yeah. I mean, just ask how big the union is and how many of them are and they're at 14 ports. I think it was the longshoremen. Um, I mean, it's got to be tens of thousands of people. I don't know the exact number, but
My question construction skills this morning are not going to be tip top shape.
your prompting is a little.
The private prompting, yeah, is a bit. How many jobs contribute to the Port Longshoremen Workers Union? What's a
Does it
better
give
way
you a
to ask?
number?
No,
Wow, that was a really good prompt, bro.
yeah. What's a better way to ask this?
Give me a number. Give me a number. Just demand your answers from the robot.
Uh, like your life depends on it. This always works. Like your life depends on it. How
All
many
caps.
jobs?
Give me a number.
Give me a number
Give me a number, robot.
for how many jobs port worker jobs there are in the U.S.
Tank loaders, truck loaders, ship loaders. Those are all part of it. Yeah, maybe they are. Have you ever
Oh, 1,000, 1,000. It's actually if that's hold on. If this is the case,
135,000?
135,000. That's actually yeah. That okay.
My
So there's
my daughter's trying to bang on the door to come out here, but I'm not going to let her. I don't want
okay.
her. I don't want to expose her to this freight world earlier than she needs to be.
Then she needs to.
What 135,000 jobs? I mean,
I don't know
dude,
if that's
that's
right though. I don't know if that's right for sure.
what
But
does it say right there? Down at the bottom, it said
this is just the
registered.
Pacific
Oh,
Maritime
okay.
Association.
How many
So they have
members does
16,000. I mean,
the
16,000 jobs is a lot.
longshoreman? Union have? That's the better question. 85,000 longshoremen,
85,000 longshoremen.
according to literally the first thing on Google.
Huh.
Um,
That's actually funny. Hold on. So let me ask this.
and here's the ILA website. Yeah, 85,000. Atlantic and Gulf coasts, Great Lakes, major U.S. rivers, Puerto Rico, Eastern Canada, and the Bahamas.
Okay, so the Longshoremen's Association represents about 45,000 dock workers, according to urban.org.
I'm on their website.
Which one? Which one?
The ILAunion.org.
That's so funny that these guys, Urban Institute, get your facts straight. That's funny.
Um,
That's a
International
decent amount of
Longshoremen's
jobs. So
Association.
I don't, I mean, the broader question is, if it obviously it doesn't get introduced, automation doesn't get introduced like immediately, but if it did, obviously that would be uh, probably pretty dramatic. For
Yeah,
these people, which have literally been doing these jobs, I would say, uh, you know, probably for most of their career, at least the older ones. But yeah, it's I don't even know what a transition plan like looks like there. It's like,
I
do
don't think
you?
anybody does.
Nobody
I
does, right?
really,
And
I really,
um,
really don't. I really don't think we have not internalized what all of this means on long enough on a long enough time horizon. I mean, I don't really know what you even say. I have no idea. I mean, I really don't.
I
I
don't know
really
either.
don't.
We just do know
I
that it
totally
does exist
understand why
already.
they would want to fight it though, obviously,
Obviously,
like from their standpoint. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I
yeah.
don't, how that plays out long term, like if there's, I mean, I find it hard to believe they would like, I mean, actually, I wonder what the terms of the contract were, because they were saying like one of their demands was like literally, guarantees of no automation. I'm like, I just don't, that just seems kind of crazy, but whatever. What are you going to do?
What are the terms of the renegotiated? Let's see, negotiated contract or
What was
2025 contract
here's,
duration, 6-year master contract, wage increase, maintains the previously negotiated 61.5% wage increase over 6 years,
wow.
resulting in the highest paid workers earning $63 per hour in the final year of the contract, up from 39. Job protection, the agreement safeguards current ILA jobs. Full automation is ruled out, but USMX retains the ability to implement necessary technologies for port modernization. Let's see here. Framework for implementing
Yeah.
new technologies that will create more jobs. Yeah. So I think it's going to be another 6 years for sure before we could even. Uh, wow,
Yeah,
what is
I
that?
mean,
What is
it'll
that?
be,
Oh, 2030? That's wild.
what are you gonna do, I guess?
At this point, I don't know.
What else has been going on?
Yeah.
What's the other news? What else have I missed?
What have we got here? Got some more.
Hey, let's talk about this.
What's up?
Um, open up marine traffic. You ever been on marine traffic?
Yeah.
Yeah, open up marine traffic, because Trump's talking about, Canada being a state and us annexing Greenland. Uh, and I
Yep.
was I, and I was looking at the map, and I was like, and I saw some people tweet about this too, and I was like, dang, that makes a lot of sense. So,
So what's
and
up?
he's also talking about the Panama Canal again, because we sold the Panama Canal to the Panamanians for like $1 or something like that. I got to fact check
Yeah,
myself on that, but I'm
Jimmy
pretty sure I
Carter
read
did, yeah.
that. But anyway, the like as the ice caps like melt, or and the Northern Passage, it becomes a more viable trade route right up
Yep.
like between like Greenland and like between Greenland and Canada right there is going to be like a strategic choke point. And
Here.
yeah, and then basically the whole way up and through to the other side. Not that way, but like where those two little dots are right there to the left in the middle.
These.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
these. Okay.
Yeah. And so it's basically like a strategic play to try to like
Oh, I
control the
see
trade
it.
routes.
Yeah, I got you.
And it's not just like a meme of like, oh, we just need Greenland, He's like, I thought that was an interesting theory.
It
I,
totally makes sense now that I look at it on the map. Because honestly, I mean, I was just reading about the Greenland stuff,
I
but
want to, dude,
this
I want
makes
to
a
get
lot more sense now.
I want to get the opinion of like legitimate maritime people on like the
Here, what's his name?
viability of that. John
John,
Conrad
John
or
Conrad. Yeah, he's
Sal
a good.
or Ross. Yeah, but I want to tweet at them and see if that's like actually a real idea because
See
I
if
was
either
curious.
of them are
I,
free.
I mean, I guess it's winter right now, so maybe it would make sense why there wouldn't be any ships up there. But like, I was curious just how many were going to be up there at all. I'm sure a lot of it is frozen. Uh, I'm just making that up. I have no idea if it's frozen or not. I don't know,
Neither do I,
but
to be honest. Yeah.
maybe it's a stupid idea. Maybe I don't know, but I gotta tweet at them. Um, but anyway, that was another thing. This whole
This is I
Greenland
think
Canada stuff.
you know what's like really crazy to me is this the fact, oh, these are actually, it seems like tugboats. These aren't like super
The
big boats.
rivers, bro.
Yeah, like the rivers is,
You want to go on the you want to jam about fucking inland
yeah,
waterways? I mean, I could talk about that for hours.
yeah. So like what type of I mean, is this some pretty serious
Those are all
trade
barges. They're all
barges?
barges. Yeah, I mean, it's like commodity. It's like grain and just commodities and stuff like that on those barges. And there's a ton of barge activity. Actually, but I mean, I say a ton, but like I don't know what capacity. Like if you were to say like, okay, if we utilize the rivers to like their full extent for everything we possibly could, like what would that look like?
Yeah.
And what percentage of that usage are we at right now? I would suspect we're at a very, very small percentage. And that's
Uh-huh.
just based on like literally nothing. Like I don't have any numbers. But yeah, one of the things that everyone talks, I mean, we do have like the biggest inland waterway system like in the world. I'm pretty sure compared to other countries.
Am I doing something wrong here? Because like either this website is just completely broken because I'm trying to press the search.
Can
Trying
you
to press.
not? Oh, you can't search.
I
Maybe
can't
it
also
doesn't.
press. I thought you're supposed to be
Maybe
able
it
to
just
view the.
doesn't like Arc.
No, I used it before on Arc. Let's see here. Maybe. Oh, there we go. Oh, sick.
I mean,
Great.
if you ever
Oh, there we
fly
go.
over like the Mississippi or the Missouri, like you'll see. But I mean, you can literally go from the Great Lakes to the Gulf of Mexico,
So what are they hauling? Do you know?
like yeah, like grain and stuff. I mean,
Grain.
there's all these grain terminals that are on the rivers, right? So if you talk to like farmers in the Midwest, a lot of times they'll drop they'll drop their product at grain terminals,
Do you
and
know why what's like what would what leads people to use this um as a, is it cheaper to transport
I
the
mean,
grain?
yeah, that's definitely yeah. It's I mean from a cost per ton mile or whatever the metric is. I mean, it's got to be the cheapest form. And these are like incredibly low margin commodities.
Oh,
So like the cost of transportation needs to be as like low as humanly possible for them to make any money.
yeah.
And so they, if their ultimate goal is export of grain, then
Do you think there's a load
um,
board for
for
tugboat
barge loads,
for tug, yeah,
you, you
barge
know,
loads?
I'm pretty sure I remember talking to Adam DeGroot about him he used to be in a barge broker or something like that because they have a farm. It would be interesting to talk to him about that sometime. I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't
Um,
I don't think so.
I
Like
don't
I
know if
wonder
there's
how many.
enough. I don't know if there's enough players in that market for there to be like a marketplace versus just going to like a handful of providers. I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, I don't. I really don't know. I really don't know. But I find it very interesting. I find it pretty interesting.
This is actually kind of like funny. Like I can't really find any service whatsoever. Um,
I bet you a lot of the big commodities companies have their own equipment. I could be making that up too, but like, I
yeah.
mean, there's like a handful of large commodity players that like Cargill and ADM that probably move, move a lot of the
Oh,
barges.
that's actually super funny that you mentioned that because Cargill I just was looking at that shipper in shipper CRM and
Yeah.
they actually here I'll pull it up real quick because they um it's actually I would say larger than a barge. Give me a second here. Hold on. Hold on one second.
Dude, the commodities companies are like really interesting. I mean,
So,
Cargill is like, I'm pretty sure Cargill is like one of the most valuable privately owned businesses in the world.
so
Um,
you zoom in here. I'm pretty sure I saw, yeah, here we go. There's like a really big, I mean, that's not like that's no small barge. I don't, is that a barge?
what? Let me see. No, that's a Great Lakes tanker. Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of like if you look at marine traffic, there's a ton of tankers on the Great Lakes that move these commodities as well, and
Yeah,
they'll go and they'll I mean, you can go from like Montreal all the way to Chicago,
which is,
on the Great Lakes,
yeah,
and then
and
up to so there's a whole like industry of tankers and bulk carriers that run on the Great Lakes like exclusively. I'm pretty sure. Um,
it's kind of funny that
it's
it actually, like, it's just on the border of Illinois and
yeah,
Indiana here for the entrance.
yeah. That's
Gotta pay those tolls, man.
if you're down there, dude. You can. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I mean, there's like Duluth, Minnesota is like a big port up on Lake Superior. I'm pretty sure like Thunder Bay in Canada is like a big one. And these are all like grain, like I'm pretty sure mostly grain export hubs. It might not even be just exports. It's like just it's there's a lot of domestic activity too. Um,
Do you know? So Stefan says Sal,
yeah, I know Sal
Mercogiano. How do you say that? Merco.
Mercogliano. Yeah,
Mercogliano.
he's got a dude. Sal does a show every single day on YouTube about it's called "What's Going On with Shipping."
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah, and his the amount of content he puts out is like ridiculous. Yeah,
Sal,
it's Sal Mercogliano. It just type "What's Going On with Shipping." Uh, it's
what's
what's going on with shipping or in shipping. I can't remember which one. What?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
with
it's
shipping. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, dude.
wow, 368,000
Yeah,
subscribers.
yeah, yeah. Well, he's legit. He's got a whole, and he's like a professor at and teaches this stuff.
That's
And so
wild.
yeah, he's got his show is good. Anytime there's maritime stuff, I'm always checking his show out.
That's awesome. Wow.
Um,
Wow.
but those guys,
A
if you
lot of
get those guys going about the inland waterways, they'll go on forever. It's a very interesting thing because water transport is definitely the cheapest form of transport, like by far,
by
like
far.
even cheaper than rail. And rail is like obviously more efficient than truck, and boat and water is more efficient than rail.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's all sorts of reasons why we're not like if you go and look at like the Netherlands, like they have container. I'm pretty sure they have like container ports like on their rivers, like in the Netherlands. Um,
This is
because
super
I
cool. I'm gonna go.
yeah,
This is a rabbit hole that I'm afraid to go down right like at this time right now because but this looks so good.
I mean, dude, you can go down the you can go down the rabbit hole like big time. I think, bro, in like 20 right after I started at Echo in like 2016, I was just like obsessed. Like in my downtime, I would just like look at maps. I would just look at Google
Yeah,
Maps and I would go look at like ports and stuff. And I just was like, damn, the ship stuff is sick. Like I was trying to figure out a way to like start doing stuff in the ocean business. I never actually like
figured
made
out.
tried too hard,
Hmm.
but like I was definitely for a while there like just obsessed with with boats
Damn.
because there's like a whole world of like ship owners and like just there's just a whole freight world, a whole maritime freight world. Like not just containers, because obviously containers are like container lines are a bit like LTL shippers in that you need like a massive kind of logistics footprint to like run these operations, right? Like you need like just dealing with containers makes it much more complex. But like there's, you know, if you're talking about like commodities or like oil or liquids,
Hmm.
like there's like small individual ship owners that play in these markets. It's pretty interesting.
This is
It's a whole world unto itself.
it's a whole world for sure. I think every it seems like every mode of transport almost. The barge, the Mississippi River barges, it's probably its own world. I mean, it's not
Oh,
even on. It doesn't
totally.
even seem like it's on the internet.
Yeah, dude, I remember I was in Chicago like maybe a year and a half ago, and I was at a bar with a dude with shout out Carlos Fernandez. He works at Echo. He was there when I was there. I don't even remember what his role is, like director of carousels maybe. And we were at the bar, just catching up, hanging out. And turns out I was sitting next to this dude who like runs like I can't remember if he owned or like was high up at like a barge shipper from Houston. And
Hmm.
we just started talking about barges for like 3 hours with this dude. It was, and I'm pretty sure I have his number. I should try to figure out who he is and text him because he was telling me all sorts of crazy stuff about barges.
They can go in pretty
Um,
deep here, I guess, with the barges
yeah, I
and
mean,
the.
dude, our like river system is is massive. It's massive. I mean,
Yeah.
you can like yeah, it's massive.
Also, real quick, what are thoughts around Gulf of America?
Yeah, I mean, hey, I wouldn't complain about that name change.
I wouldn't complain about it either. But
I
the funny thing is I like when I first thought about it, I was like, oh, this is kind of just like whatever, some Trump move. But then I like looked at the map and whatever, it was I didn't expect actually the to see to like realize that the majority of the coast that's actually hugging the Gulf actually is on the side of the states, which I actually didn't know that.
yeah, well, we I'm pretty sure we're a lot more active in the Gulf of Mexico than Mexico is.
I
Uh,
would think so. It looks
so
like it
so
too, like
yeah.
literally.
I mean, Houston is like a massive. I mean, like for oil and gas, you know,
Hmm.
Houston's like the export hub, and it's a huge world down there.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean,
Drill
it's
Panama.
yeah, the Panama Canal is crazy. Yeah, that's a whole yeah. I mean, the ports, the ocean stuff is dope, dude. We should definitely get one of these maritime guys on here to just nerd out about ocean stuff for a show because it's like it's cool stuff.
All right. So if there's anybody who's listening to this and would like to help us coordinate guests coming onto the show, reaching out to
Bro,
them, help them
bro,
schedule them.
I know all these guys.
I know, but we don't. I
We,
know, but we basically don't. Like, I mean,
we
we
don't
don't have
plan.
guests like this. Consistently. Like it's like if when we do obviously have good guests that come on here and there, right? But like, it's an open invitation to anybody who might be interested in
I'll coordinate with one of those guys and get them on. And I can just text them. I mean, we haven't done a like. I wonder what's going on down in the Red Sea. Go over to the Red Sea in the Suez Canal. Um, because I'm curious what the situation is down there with like what those boats are like, because the Houthis in Yemen were like, trying to choke off that trade route.
They were tearing it up over there.
I wonder to what extent they're still that's still a story, because I mean that was, I don't even know, it was over a year ago when that started. And um I feel like that, there's been a lot of news since then, and a lot of people have lost focus on it. But
Yeah,
it's
that's so
probably still a huge story in that world.
it's so I would say what I wonder. I'm trying to look from the map here, like what the I can't even pronounce it.
Suez.
Suez Canal, primarily like which trade route actually.
I mean, it's Europe to Asia. It's Europe
Europe.
to Asia. Yeah, yeah. That's like the the
I
the
mean, that would be
primary one.
the primary one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's
We got
yeah.
going.
That's a whole thing. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild stuff. I think it's super dope. The and then another story I keep seeing popping up on Twitter is Chinese vessels like cutting undersea cables in the Baltic Sea. I'm pretty sure that's happened like a couple times. Um,
Putting undersea cables.
yeah, like dragging their anchor and like destroying undersea telecommunications
Okay,
cables.
that's a different story. I thought it was just like I was
No,
kind of asking myself,
yeah,
what
I haven't dug too deep into it, but I've seen it on the timeline a couple times. And obviously the undersea cable system is like pretty insane too. That's a whole nother thing that I don't think a lot of people think about very frequently. But
is
like
actually
look up like an undersea cable map. There's like pretty
it's
crazy
a really cool one,
complex
actually.
maps. Yeah, there you go.
Actually, wait, was there a website?
Yeah, there's a cool website that shows all of it. Yeah. I mean, dude,
Cool.
it's wild. It's wild.
This is like literally the internet.
Yeah, exactly. And like the vast majority of the internet runs on this.
And these
Like,
are just like router switches, basically.
yeah, I mean, I bet you if you went and just polled random people on the street and you said like what, what runs more of the internet, satellites or cables, I bet you a lot of people would say satellites. And I'm
I mean,
pretty sure it's like,
I don't know yet about
uh,
that, but it will be the case, like, for sure. I mean, for sure with Starlink, uh, it is it is basically in any disaster relief, or in any disaster scenario, everybody always has access with Starlink. Um, and I know I was hearing what are the guys from that base camp company? What's the founder of base camp? He was
David
tweeting.
Hannemeyer Hansen,
No, not him. The other guy,
Jason Fried.
Jason Fried. Yeah, he was just tweeting about it that he he had, I think, maybe this was like 2 weeks ago. Maybe the fires were starting back then, but the cables for the internet like melted down or something like that, and he was completely replacing it, with Starlink, and that's going to be a more and more popular scene. I mean, you can walk into Target now and buy a Starlink satellite.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean,
I
that's
get one.
obviously commercial, like consumer usage for sure. But like the amount of like kind of just infrastructure, like I just typed into Perplexity what percentage of the internet runs on undersea cables versus satellites, and it says 90 to 95 to 99%
Yeah,
of communication data travels via fiber optic cable. Like it's like,
you can't.
and that's that's a massive amount of data, you know.
Yep. You know what? I mean, I've heard this for a while, and this is, I guess, existed, but dude, Tennessee, the amount of fiber that they have laid in Tennessee and the speed at which they have internet in Tennessee is bananas.
What?
It's like I think it's like I
You
think
land at
it's
the airport in Chattanooga, and that's what like the first thing they brag about is how fast their
it's
internet is.
10 gigabits per second.
You can't talk to anyone in Chattanooga without them bringing up how fast their internet is.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's definitely true. So
If
hey,
you haven't
you
been
know,
to Chattanooga, you wouldn't know that. But 10 gigabits per 10 gigabits a second is
bro, my internet sucks
wild.
here. My internet is so trash. I'm gonna see what my internet speed is. Uh, and it's mostly my fault because I don't try to make it better with my router. Dude, I get like 7 megabits.
Oh,
That's what my traffic speed is showing me right now.
it's like
And
like
and and
dial-up almost.
I'm pretty sure I pay for a gigabit. So it's probably my router. It's probably my fault, but and I've not done
Oh,
anything about it, but my internet is trash.
this is not even freight related, but maybe I brought this up before, but do you realize how many people have routers, outdated routers with old firmware that has basically
Yeah,
been
it's
that
it's
has
probably me.
known public exploits?
Yeah, that's probably me.
And literally, I mean, there's just no, I don't know how all that's going to get updated. Literally, majority of America is running on. My guess would be that majority of America is running on routers that have known public exploits, and it's like how there's just no security, data security with that whatsoever. But I, yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's a couple of companies that might be addressing that, but you can't really walk into somebody's house and just say like, "Hey, let me update your firmware for you for no reason." You know,
Let
it's
me
just
update your. I'm gonna update your firmware, bro.
yeah. Right now I could use some new firmware because I didn't get much sleep last night, but that would be yeah. I'm probably gonna take a quick nap after this.
I
So
wanna. I definitely want for this show. Like, I think getting just doing random stuff like this is just way cooler than talking about what everyone else is talking about. I mean, we can obviously talk about news, important news, but like having like off the beaten path guests is
I mean,
like,
I personally like talking about this. I mean, if if other people find this to be, whether or not I guess other people like find this interesting,
I don't care if
something we
anyone
talk about,
finds it
I
interesting.
don't care
I want to
either.
I want to have interesting conversations.
Yeah, to me, this stuff is like I just learned about the YouTube channel with all the the shipping. This is basically kind of like the Bible for shipping almost. Um, and But I do think that like when we have relevant guests, like high profile relevant guests, like those conversations really do get also very interesting too. So I don't know, some balance between those two, and we'll figure it out. But all right, I'm gonna call it for today. I don't know if anything else you want to cover, but
No, dude, let's go. I got work
so
to do.
next week we do have Bill Driegert joining us
Cool.
again from Flexport, head of trucking, also the Convoy platform. So looking forward to having him back on for third time,
Bill.
and that'll be another fun episode. So all right,
All right,
man,
bro.
sounds good. See everybody later.
See ya.